I turn it into a smiley face.
Hello again, it's only me. Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, you don't know who I am, my name's Emily and I make a lot of art related videos. I film a whole week of the arty things which I do and compile them together into these videos. And this video is a little bit different to usual because I moved to art school, art university, whatever you want to call it. That's quite a big section of this video, so I hope you enjoy that. I also hope you enjoyed my little holiday clips. I thought it'd be a nice way to start this little video off. I've said video way too many times. Anyway, I also wanted to show me packing a few orders for my Etsy shop because I wanted to let you guys know that even though I am away at uni, the Etsy shop is still up and running because my mum and dad are very kindly looking after it for me. So yeah, just letting you guys know that, and if you're interested in it, my Instagram and Etsy shop are linked in the description of this video. The start of this video is just kind of a mishmash of a bunch of random things that I filmed over the past 2 weeks really, and this is a painting which I did, which I really liked and I kind of wish I filmed, but at the same time it was nice to just paint without having to worry about angles and you know, the lighting and making sure everything looks good in the video. So I did have a really fun time painting this. I thought I would quickly show you a bit of the editing process, although just a tiny bit of it. I didn't show too much because I've shown myself editing pictures quite a lot in previous videos. I put a lot of effort into editing pictures for my Instagram. I want them to look really nice and just kind of do the art justice, so I do put a lot of effort into editing them. I was actually a little bit blown away by how many likes this post got on Instagram. It shocked me. It's my most liked post on Instagram by far. I say on average I probably get around 500 likes to maybe 800 likes, and then this one just for some reason got 8,000 likes out of nowhere. Couldn't believe it, but thank you very much. It brought a lot of new people to my Instagram, so that was nice. Here I am just doing a bit more painting. Again, I didn't film too much of this, but I promise later on in the video there will be a lot more filming of the whole art process. I did this because I had a frame that I wanted to fill. If there's one thing you want to know about me, it's that I'm addicted to frames. I'm addicted to making art to go in frames. I just think as soon as you put a piece of art in a frame, it just looks 1,000 times better. I really like the way this looks. I'm going to take it to uni with me to decorate my room to look all nice. Speaking of going to uni, here is the packing section of this video. So I hope you enjoy looking at all the art supplies that I take to uni because I thought you might find it interesting. So I made a big list of everything that I'm taking in case you want to know what kind of art supplies I use. So I hope you find this helpful. Yeah, so here I am doing a little bit of packing for uni. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm now in my second year and I study illustration. And this year I'm living in a house. Last year I lived in a dorm. I say lived, I didn't really live there for that long. I lived there for a few weeks and then, the whole virus thing, so I came home. But this year I plan on staying a lot longer. Really excited to be living in a house this year. I'm living here with my 2 friends and I think we'll just have a nice time. We'll have a nice fun time together. Anyway, so packing. I've got a much bigger room this year, so I decided to bring my trolley that I have all my art stuff in. I also needed to take my chair, and because my room's quite big, I ended up just bringing quite a lot of decorative things as well, because I wanted it to feel really homely and kind of just like my room at home. So I'm bringing my plants, my cushions, a bunch of art. I have just been making loads of art recently just to kind of decorate my walls a bit. I also like to buy cards from, cards from shops. I'm always on the hunt for nice cards because I like to just stick them on the walls as prints. Is everything packed? Sorry if the audio sounds a bit weird right now, it's just because it's on my phone. I really don't know if all of this is going to fit in the car. We will see. That orange bag there, I've just got all my art stuff, my clothes. That's my trolley taken apart and my desk lamp, and then I've got this situation going on. My room for some reason just doesn't come with a chair. All the other rooms in the house came with a chair, but mine doesn't, so I'm having to bring mine from home. So yeah, I've got all my frames here. Gonna take lots of decorations because I want to fill up the walls. The walls are very white. I also have this one grey wall which I'm not a fan of, so I'm going to use these big frames here to try and cover up as much of the grey as I can. And my plants. And there you go, that's everything I'm going to take. Here's my new room at uni. I thought I would do a very quick room tour. I was going to film a little bit of the setting up process, but it was just really warm and sweaty and it was just too much stress going on, so I didn't film it. But here's my room. This is the kind of door as you walk in. I've got my mirror and some art up, and there's my wardrobe. Pretty bog standard, but then this is the best part of the room, the desk setup. The actual desk that came with the house is really small, so my dad made this tabletop which goes on top just to make it a bigger desk. Got a nice rug which I bought from H&M, I do believe, but I absolutely love this desk, and it's kind of tucked into a sort of bay window area, so I have windows at all sides of me, and this bay window was like the main thing which sold me on this house. I saw the bay window and I was like, yes, I'll have it. I ended up having to make the blue checkered curtains that you can see because for some reason the room just didn't come with curtains on the sides, so I made some just for a bit more privacy. And then opposite my desk I have my bed and some nice little bunting that my mum knitted me, and I painted these bedside tables. They were just in the loft for years looking really gross, and then we got them out and I painted them white and put little checkers on them, so I think they're looking pretty cute. On the opposite side to my bed I have this grey wall with those big frames that I did. They look quite small on that wall though actually. Could probably have gone for bigger frames really. Just some more art up on the wall, and that's pretty much the whole room. I have another table in the corner with my apples on, and then I have these curtains which I can close and kind of shut off the whole desk area, which is nice in case I ever just want to shut out my art and pretend it's not there. Moving on to the next day now. I was at a bit of a loose end. University doesn't start until next week, so I had a whole week of just kind of nothingness really, although we did have one orientation day, but other than that the week's kind of been pretty much empty. So I thought I would get my last bit of art in before uni starts, and all the art I make has to kind of become university related and not just art that I make for me anymore. So I wanted to do a nice painting of a cat. I just had a could scroll through Pinterest, saw a picture which I liked and just decided to paint it. I did this in watercolour, and I have a 1 tube of white gouache which I've been kind of starting to incorporate into my watercolour because I think they go quite nicely together. You can kind of mix it with the watercolour and it makes it slightly opaque, which I quite like to do. And then later on in this video I actually buy a whole set of gouache, so get ready for that. I forgot to mention, and you might, well, I highly doubt you're wondering, but just in case anyone's wondering, how on earth did they set all that stuff up in one day in her room, and how did they bring it all in one car? It's because a lot of it was already set up, because I was here a few months ago. I stayed here for a week a few months ago to set things up. That's when I made the curtains and I painted the tables, and I brought all my bedding and all my kitchen stuff. So yeah, that was already here. So really setting stuff up on whatever day it was, the day you saw before, it was pretty simple, to be honest. I just had to do the table and the trolley and put up all my art and my clothes and stuff. Anyway, back to the art. I wanted to kind of stylize it. I'm trying to, I don't know, explore my style more and kind of make everything cool sort of shapes, like simplified shapes. I don't know how well I'm achieving it, but I'm having a go, and I think it looks nice. I'm addicted to that really pale but also bright yellow colour that you see at the top. I just use it in like every single piece of art I do now. I've never drawn a cat before, so this was quite a challenge. There was many rubbed out failed sketches of the cat before I got to the one you see in this painting. I didn't really know how to do its face in a way which was cute but also quite simple. I think I got there in the end, but yeah, there was a struggle, trust me. I didn't film any of the sketching process because it was just a lot of rubbing out. It's pretty boring to watch, to be honest. I managed to draw the flowers quite quickly. I drew all the flowers out, and then I basically just covered the entire sketch up with paint, so I just couldn't see it anymore, so that was pretty pointless. I didn't really need to sketch them out. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this painting. It was nice to mix my watercolour with my gouache. It was really fun to do, and I just really like the expression on the cat's face. I think it's quite nice and silly, and I like how simple like the flowers are. I was going to put like the middle of the flowers in, like a yellow bit in the middle, but I just thought it was much more simple and kind of a little bit more unique by just leaving the middle of the flowers empty. So yeah, that's that. Hello, thought I would do some real-time speaking because I haven't really done that this video too much. So, as you just saw, me opening my fancy new paints, I got some gouache because I've never had gouache before, but I see it in other people's art and I really like the way it looks. I ended up going for the Winsor & Newton designer gouache. I put a thing up on my story on Instagram a few days ago asking for people's recommendations for gouache because I really don't know anything about it really. A lot of people suggested these ones, plus I already had a white one of this which I bought like a month ago or something like that, so I thought I'd buy the whole set. They are a little bit on the expensive side, but I'm sure I really enjoy using them. I've been using the white gouache that I have there with watercolours, and I did that for this cat painting which you saw me doing with like, I do it for like the opaque bits, and I've been really enjoying it, so I think it'll be nice to kind of use these in conjunction, fancy word, with my watercolours as well. Anyway, I want to do a full gouache piece just to kind of get used to using it. I drew this, I don't know, like a week ago now. I drew it and I thought, hold on, I won't paint this now and I'll wait for my gouache to come because I just thought this would be really nice with gouache. I'm aware that I might say it a bit weird. I feel like some people call it gouache, but I say gouache. Here's me just playing around with it to try and get used to using it. This was my little trial run with it. I really like the colours you can get very pretty. I think I'm going to do this on a separate piece of paper just because this paper is pretty thin. I mean, it does a pretty good job, like there's a lot of paint on here and it holds up nicely, but I just thought I'd do something on some slightly thicker paper just because it kind of buckles. Don't know if you can see all like the wobbles in the paper. Plus if I like the way it turns out, I might put it up on my wall. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Have a nice time with my gouache. I'm sure it'll be quite the learning curve getting used to a new art supply, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Painting this started out really fun and it was smooth sailing, baby. But as soon as I finished the mushroom itself was really pretty smooth sailing to do, pretty fun. And then I got to the background and oh my goodness, this video doesn't show fully the ups and downs of this piece because there was multiple points when I was painting this where I was just going to give up and kind of throw it away. But I don't know, this little voice inside of me just kept saying, go on, you keep going, you can pull it together. And yeah, during that time I didn't really film much because there was a lot going wrong with it. You can't really tell in this video that a lot went wrong with it because I did not film that bit, but the background went through many different stages. There was a point where it was going to be a blue sky, then it was going to be yellow, and then I finally settled on blue. But what I discovered about gouache is that it's quite tricky to layer because when you layer it just kind of picks up the colour that's underneath and starts mixing together, which watercolour doesn't do. So I think watercolour and gouache definitely have their pros and cons, and I really like using them both, and especially using them together. You know, now we're talking. Gouache and watercolour combined, I like it a lot. I think gouache on its own is really fun as well. You just need to be aware that it doesn't really like to layer that much. Now that I know that, maybe my next piece will be a lot less stressful. I think it was just like the whole learning curve of trying to, you know, learn a new media as well. You know, that was a big part of it. But in the end, I think I got there and I ended up with a piece which I think is quite nice. It's also quite a different style for me. It's quite simple. Usually don't really do things this simple, but I really like it and I think I'll probably do more things like this. I love the texture you get with gouache and I like how opaque it is and the colour is just there immediately, whereas with watercolour I have to like build up the colour and the saturation with like multiple layers. Didn't have to do this with gouache, and usually with watercolour I end up using coloured pencils to go in and add a bit more detail and saturation, but with gouache I didn't really need to do that, so that was nice. So yeah, I'd say both have their pros and cons, but I'll definitely be using gouache again. I absolutely loved it after I got over the whole shock of I can't layer these, what's happening, it's picking up the paint underneath and just creating quite a big mess, to be honest. I would really like to carry on making videos whilst uni's happening and show you what I get up to at university, because that's what I did last year. Hopefully I can keep it up and I've not got too much work on my plate. I managed to keep it up last year and make lots of videos about uni, so I'm hoping to do that this year. I was hoping we would be in uni a lot more often this year because last year it was mainly online lessons, I'm not going to lie. My university experience last year was sitting on my bed looking at a screen, and I was really hopeful that this year would be a bit different. And it's slightly better, but it's not, it's not 100% better. We're only actually in the university one day a week and then the rest is online. I'm hoping as the year progresses that we will start going in a bit more often, but at the moment that's how it is, so not the best outcome, but it could have been worse. I'm looking forward to getting projects to do and having, something to do every day, and I'm hoping I can share that journey with you and it will be nice for you to watch. I've come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm really proud of it. It took me a long time to make. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you again if you're new here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.